Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I want to talk to you about a big purchase I made about a month ago on a bunch of PS3 games. I normally don't brag about or show off all the deals I find with retro games. There are certainly enough YouTubers that show off what they find at like thrift stores, yard sales, garage sales, etc. I don't do that. I really just stick to the online or Craigslist. But given that this deal involved a lot of games, a high dollar amount, I decided that I would make a short video showing it off to you. So the deal I got was advertised on Craigslist about 40 or so minutes away from my house. And the seller was trying to sell 550 PS3 games, all of which looked to be complete in box for $5,000 total. Now usually when someone is trying to sell that many games all at once, they're usually going to be all garbage tier games value-wise. These are games for the PS3 such as Call of Duty, Battlefield, and the sports games. So I had to make sure to look at the pictures closely to see if that was the case or not. And after reviewing all the photos and looking at the game titles, I was actually very surprised to see, yes, there were some garbage games in there, but there were also a lot of quality games. And furthermore, a lot of these quality games were actually of the same interest types as far as games that I collect. So I knew that I actually had to take this listing seriously. Determining the value of this entire lot was very long and difficult for me because it was a lot of games, and at the time I was not familiar with PS3 pricing. Before I bought this lot, I only owned I think 11 PS3 games, so I did not know what PS3 games were going for, which means I had to do a lot of eBay lookups just to see what similar games were selling for. And as well, because it was just so many games, I also had to do a lot of conservative estimating. And the value that I came up with, and it was very conservative I think, was about $7,500. So I knew that this was a pretty good deal and that I was gonna try to bite on it. So I contacted the seller and the games were still available for sale, and we agreed on a time and location to meet. As I was driving up to the meeting location, I was actually super nervous about this. Like, what if this goes south and I lose my $5,000? But the transaction was actually super smooth. The two gentlemen that I met were really nice and honest with me. They said that they bought these PS3 games many years ago thinking that they would be worth a lot of money. Unfortunately, that was not the case for them, so they just wanted to kind of sell it off at their loss. They were actually trying to make room because they want to leave the video game selling business and get into the Pokemon card selling business, which I don't know anything about, but I do know it's lucrative and hot right now. So we had an interesting conversation. And when I did the initial inspection with them, I was only able to kind of check a few games and they looked pretty good. So I made sure when I got home, I would check the rest of the games, and I was just blown away on how consistently good each game was. Like, everything was like almost collector quality. Everything was complete. A lot of games had all the additional inserts or maps and whatnot. So it was just awesome. And later on, when I got more familiar with this lot and PS3 prices in general, I actually realized that I actually overestimated the value of this lot by a little bit. But because everything was in such very good condition, I lucked out. Of the 550 games, I decided to keep 97 games for my personal collection. These 97 games had a total value of about $3,000, and I would sell the rest of the games to try to recoup as much of the $5,000 that I spent on the entire lot. So far, I have sold 300 of those games and I've recouped $3,400, and I still have about 150 games left to sell. And if I'm very conservative and I assume that the remaining 150 games sell for an average of $5 a piece, I should recoup over $4,000 of my $5,000 purchase. The 10 highest valued games that I kept for my personal collection are Blades of Time, Splatterhouse, Lollipop Chainsaw, Yakuza Dead Souls, El Shaddai, Drakengard 3, Fist of the North Ken's Rage, R No Surge Ode to an Unborn Star, 3D Dot Game Heroes, and the Ratchet Clank Collection. All in all, this was a really great purchase for the sake of collecting. If you're someone like me who uses buying and selling to get games cheaply, then this lot would be perfect to buy. If you're someone that just buys and sells games for the sake of a profit, I'm not sure if this lot would be a really good or wise purchase. Yes, there's some money that can be made from it, but I think that it would take a lot of hours to do so it just wouldn't be time efficient. That summarizes this purchase. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.